You know, Brian, even though Conspiracy Con is absolutely amazing, I know you have more going on than just Conspiracy Con. Tell us about your next conference.
Well, you know, at this event we deal with more terrestrial concerns, but there are a lot of people out there who are interested in that which is more extraterrestrial. There was a forum here in the San Francisco Bay Area that is no longer with us, and it was an important institution to a lot of people. And when something like that disappears, the universe tends to fill that gap. Well, a colleague of mine, Lorian Fenton of Northern California MUFON, and I decided to fill that gap with the first annual UFO Con. And we are in the process of bringing in a number of dignitaries within the UFO community to share information on all things extraterrestrial, UFOs, technology, men in black, things that people are continuing to talk about well into the 21st century. That comes, our first annual UFO Con, to this hotel, September 15th and 16th of 2012, and we hope people join us for that.
I have to tell you, the UFO Con coming up, I am so excited about, because so many things have been happening this year in 2012, as you can imagine.
Indeed.
The internet is like flooded with sightings. People, everyone has a cell phone camera these days. You know, what would you say that you feel is one of the highlights of the show coming up in September 15th and 16th?
Well, I don't want to make too many promises, but I can almost guarantee that those in attendance will have a sighting.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, this sounds like maybe we're kidding a little bit, but honestly, you have to know we're really not kidding. There have been conferences in like Laughlin, Nevada, where they've actually been filming outside of the UFO conference and capturing UFOs. And at past conferences about UFOs, people have been in night vision seeing UFOs flying above the conference.
Night vision is the new trend in trying to record these technologies that are hovering above us. And now we've been talking about technologies here which might be man-made, and obviously they're not sharing it with us. That would empower us. But what if some of this stuff did come from another intelligence, from another world? If they got here, we would want to know how. We would also love to, if we could, I would like to meet them. I would hope that others are open-minded to that possibility. Some aren't, but growing numbers are. Like I said a moment ago, we are well into the 21st century. I think it's time we start asking these questions and considering the impossible is possible.
And I want to know how too. So how can we find you to come to this fantastic UFO Con? First time for Brian Wynn Hall Productions, but oh my God, there's so much interest here. How can they find you?
Well, you can find me or my associate Lorian Fenton, one of the regional directors of Northern California MUFON, that's the Mutual UFO Network. You can contact me at the same number I left a few minutes ago, but I'll leave it again, 925-449-6844. We had an old URL for the UFO website, but we found a new one that we thought was very simple. We couldn't use UFOcon.com, but we're going to use www.theufocon.com. And we'd like to think when it arrives, it will be the UFO Con.
I am confident it will be. That information is going to be, of course, on this segment, and at the end of the show, in the credits. I have to tell you honestly, these are two shows on the West Coast you don't want to miss. Not only the vendor rooms, but the speakers and the videos and the photos and everything. You've got to see what's really going on in the world. You're going to see it here. Brian, thank you so much for taking the time with us today.
You're very welcome, Joseph. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
All right.